been coming to Zion now for about 4 years. The process of me getting here really was a stumble across Zion and Faith Trust really. So I went to uni, adamant that I wanted to do physio, very focused young person. And then during that I was like, is this what I want to do? Fell pregnant when I was 18, had Lucas, my son, when I was 19. And that gave me a chance really to step back. And somewhere in the mix of that, I knew that I wanted to work with young people. And that's how I stumbled across Faith Trust really and started a placement and working with the team. And it didn't take long really to notice something different about them. And all of this was in the process of me still putting a lot of pressure on myself, making sure that I proved that I could still be someone, I could still be successful. Not just as a young person, but also as a young mum. And when I met Vicky for the first time, she was like, we're a faith-based organisation, is that okay? And I was just like, yeah, I didn't necessarily know how that could make an organisation any different. But it didn't take long till I worked with them, and I think I compared them to other organisations and other people that I went to uni with that work with young people. That even though you wanted to make a difference, it just took a step further with Faith, and there was something different. And it didn't come from a paycheck or just a sense of duty, but from the heart of something else that they wanted to work with young people. I helped out a hub on Friday night, and being around those volunteers was interesting as well. You know, I learned quite quickly that they all came to Zion, and that's why they served. And some people invited me to church and asked if I was a Christian, and I don't know what my answer could have been really, because without knowing any different, it was, well, yeah, I am, to the point that when you go to the doctors of the hospital and they ask your religion, you say Church of England, but that's the point that it got to really. So there wasn't any reason for me to not come to church. So I came along to the Victory Outreach evening with Steve, my partner, and people had invited us along. I already knew what sort of thing to expect because, you know, people had talked to me about it. About people's lives that are changed by God, who've been in trouble with the law or been in prison. But on that night I was just blown away by their stories and how they could be so different as people. And that moment for me, when at the end the guy at the front said, you know, if you want to give your life to Jesus, put your hand up, I couldn't think of any reason not to. And just ever since that moment, God has proved to me continuously why that was the best decision I've ever made, without a doubt. That idea of when you have children and you see them every day and you don't notice that they're growing and that they're changing, but then when you look at photos or someone else sees them, you realise how much they've grown and how much they've changed as people. And that's the same as me really. Like, I don't look and reflect on myself every day and daily, so I don't take any notice, but it's moments like this, when I'm sitting down, that I realise just how much I've changed. And you know, the way that God is using me for Him and working with young people, it just blows me away every time. And I think when I look back at that night, making that decision, that was the game changer for me. Nothing's been the same since.